Okay, so part three, I would like psychiatrists and mental health to try to refute what I've been saying. Explain to me how somebody who attacks Western culture and democracy during a time of war, during a time when Boko Haram has been translated not too long ago as Western culture, is sacrilege. Okay? And this person has 4,000 videos, which you could argue pretty much all attack Western culture and American policy. So, explain to me, I would love to hear the opposition views take on this. And remember, this isn't the first time I've done this. All throughout my videos, I've had moments, videos where I ask other people what they think. That's not necessarily the stereotypical actions of somebody who is mentally ill. Okay? That is the actions of a very logical person. Crazy people typically do not tend to question if their ideas are crazy. They do not tend to ask other people for input. And this proves that I have been practicing introspection and reflection and self-examination while they have been trying to interfere with my free will and self-determination. So explain to me how mind war fails to prove my point. What argument could they possibly make? I mean, not only am I right, what argument could they possibly make? This document proves so many things at once. It proves that this country, not only included a Satanist in their mind war, in their psyop, which implies that they are friendly and open to satanic ideas and philosophies, but they made him the research and analysis team leader, a major. They said satanic thought is good for mind control purposes. And for those of you who are turned off by the phrase mind control, we'll say for mind war purposes, which is basically the same, and that's what they call it. There's a thin line between mind war and mind control. It is the same thing. It's a war on your mind to control your mind. I mean, here you have flat out an official document. The bottom it says Headquarters 7th Psychological Operations Group, United States Army Reserve, Presidio of San Francisco, California. In your face. There you have it. So explain to me, all you people in mental health, explain to me how you are not traitors to humanity who are enforcing satanic philosophies. Let's not forget that Buddhism, does not include a belief in God. And from a Christian perspective, when we live in a Christian society, any philosophy that does not include a belief in God is believing in the devil. In a society that is predominantly Christian, that is our belief. If this is for the people, as self-proclaimed Christians for the most part, we believe that any philosophy that fails to believe in God, any denial of one nation under God, any secular application, if you will, any godless application, any application of a religion into policy that does not include God is satanic. And when you're saying you're secular, you're really not saying you're secular. You're saying you're non-Muslim, non-Christian, because Satanism and Buddhism, as I'm sure you well know, are both classified as religions, and they're included in your official government-backed programs. The military, mental health. Who takes you to the psych ward? The police take you to the psych ward. The police, law enforcement, is a government entity. You know, the Santa Clara County Sheriff Department, that is a government group about upholding the law. So you have included religion in your policies on record. Buddhism is a part of mental health. In fact, I'm going to dig up this document, which is going to be a pain in the ass because it's in a hard to reach place, where it shows you that we did mindfulness exercises and CBT, compassion-based therapy, DBT, mindfulness exercises and so on, at an outpatient facility that I was forced to go to as part of the requirements for my discharge, since they would not let me live by myself, since they said that mentally ill people need to live with somebody or we cannot discharge you. So therefore I couldn't go home. I'd either have to go to some kind of a halfway house or group home or go to the outpatient services, because I couldn't go home with my parents because they were not going to let me unless I went to La Selva first. And even then, the plan wasn't for me to come home. At least that's what they said, for the purposes of influencing, for the psychological effects, to put it in a way that you sniveling cowards who want to deny the truth are forced to consider, instead of try to stigmatize and pretend that it's crazy. So, explain to me, you hypocrites. Explain to me, you unchristian Satanist trash. Explain to me. How could I possibly be wrong? You know and I know that I'm right. Several times, people who have been working for you, or who you have attempted to recruit, have pointed out to me flat out. And you expect the people to believe that I had some kind of hallucination that these people said these things to me. I was hallucinating when, I recorded that female saying that she was told to provoke me to go to the psych ward, which is doing exactly what the document says, playing me out as crazy, keeping me from acquiring assistance from allies, neutrals, etc. Explain to me how I could possibly be mistaken, you satanic fucking evil demons. Explain to me. You godless heathens. Those of you who have included Satanism and Buddhism in probably one of the most important topics there is, psychology, which defines what is socially normative, and when done by the government, influences, what basically controls the direction of this nation. When you control the minds of the people in a democracy, you basically control the direction of the nation and stifle all dissent in the process without firing a single bullet, if you do it right, which is completely immoral and evil. Their argument is, to avoid bloodshed, we must control the minds of the people. Control the minds of the people for who? Ask yourself, what is the need to control the minds of the people and to stifle dissent if there is not already a ruling class that has an agenda for us, that has been pushing this agenda with their old money and private networks, if you will, for decades at least, hundreds of years more likely, and perhaps even thousands, but we won't go into that. But definitely for decades at least. If it is not thoroughly established by the legislators, by the military, by the people in charge, that there is a ruling class that controls the direction of this nation, and everyone else needs to have psyops run on them to a certain degree. They need propaganda, controlling their minds to a certain degree in order for that agenda to go smoothly and to keep everybody safe. That is not democracy. That is not morality. That is not fidelity. That is not integrity. That is not transparency. That is not accountability. That is Satanism. That is authoritarianism. That is totalitarianism. That is oppression. That is repression. That is persecution of the righteous in favor of a godless, satanic system on record. These immoral, ignoble, honorless, dishonorable dogs. And this is why all these people have to die. Don't ask me why, as Bob Marley has said. And perhaps you shouldn't ask if you're not ready for the answer. If you're a sniveling coward who needs to be told what to do, who likes psyops being run on you, then don't ask me why. Don't even listen to my videos if you're a fucking pussy who can't handle the truth. If Jack Nicholson in that one movie was right, you can't handle the truth. If you can't handle it, then you may as well go back to being a fucking brainwashed coward. These people are satanic, and they want to pretend that they're the good guys. Perhaps nothing is more dangerous in the world than a bunch of Satanists pretending that they're the good guys and that they just want to keep people safe. Just like mental health psychiatry killing over 500,000 people every year in Western countries alone, as they say, we just want to keep people safe. Just like law enforcement shooting little black children with pellet guns, saying we just want to keep people safe. Just like the prison industrial complex, saying we just want to keep people safe. What did this document say? What was the purpose of this document written by a self-proclaimed Satanist, a founder of a satanic movement right here in California, about an hour to 45 minutes to an hour away? He said, we are doing an ethical approach to this. We are just trying to keep people safe. But in reality, what is it? In reality, what they are actually doing is keeping you in danger. They are stifling dissent. They are preventing the people who are the voice of reason in a world of insanity from reaching the rest of the people with their truth, reason, and higher logic. Oh, don't you see how fucking evil this is? This is on record, people. You can't just say this is a conspiracy theory and leave it alone. You can't turn your back on it. Why do you think I can't? You have to address this. People are dying. Where is your compassion? Where is your empathy? Where is your sense of fair play? You cannot ignore this. And you will not ignore this. I will not allow you to. If there is no justice, there will be no peace. If we are to live in a satanic world where psyops are run on the righteous and Christians are persecuted in a country that is predominantly Christian especially, there will be no peace. Unless they stop what they're doing immediately. I am calling for total war. For those of you who are complete idiots, such as the social conformists and the opposition view, the pictures that I put on the screen show mindfulness activities, schedules, and even mantras. Developing your own self-compassion mantra. Who does mantras? Buddhists do. They are basically forcing Buddhist indoctrination. You know, La Selva is a re-education camp, if you will, because you live there. You know, it's an outpatient residential, program. So there's no escaping what they're trying to do. And if you go against the program, you are punished, and they make you stay there longer until you are thoroughly brainwashed, and so on and so forth. I'm not an occultist or a member of a secret society, nor am I a New Knights Templar. I'm a man of God.